This is Unit 3. And this week you're going to write an essay, an argumentative essay, in which your task is to compose an essay in which you argue either that Jig has decided to proceed with an abortion or that she has decided against it. Obviously, this is from Hills Like White Elephants. There's no right answer to this. However, you are to argue whether or not she's going to have an abortion based on your understanding of the contextual clues. You cannot just merely speculate. You have to support your claim with textual evidence. So how do you start? First of all, plan out your essay. You need to first of all take a position and then understand the textual clues that support your position that will create a successful paper. Read the assignment completely. Know what it asks you to do. And then reread the assignment. Do not circumvent this step. Many misunderstandings are due to the fact that many of you do not read the entire document and the entire prompt for the essay. What kind of paper you're writing? It's not informative, it's argumentative. Your goal is to persuade me that either Jig had the abortion or did not have the abortion. To write an argumentative essay, you'll need to gather evidence and present a well-reasoned argument on a debatable issue. Of course, this issue is the argument of whether Jig had an abortion. First of all, how do you find out if it is debatable? It's not a yes or no question. So ask yourself, how many people could argue against my position? What would they say? Can it be addressed with a yes or no answer? If it is, then you don't have an arguable position. Can I base my argument on scholarly evidence or textual evidence? In this case, it's textual evidence. You're not doing a lot of research on this. And have you made your argument specific enough? The thesis statement. I want to talk a little bit about the thesis statement. Is a claim you're making about your subject, something that you believe to be true. Avoid thesis statements like this. By examining or considering, taking a look at X, Y, and Z, we can learn a great deal about it. Such a statement does not make a claim. You are making a claim, and it's very vague. A thesis claim can only be made in the context of debatable material. Ask yourself, is this debatable? Obviously, taking one position or the other is debatable. Okay, make it clear and to the point, your thesis statement. It should be a single sentence. It draws upon the context provided by the introductory paragraph and states your claim about the nature of the topic. You will want some background information about the story itself. This could be a very brief summary in which you include also the title and the author. If you're worried about taking a firm stance, don't. There are plenty of times in your life when it's best to adopt a balanced perspective. This is not one of them. Choose one side or the other. These are some do's and don'ts of the argumentative essay. Let me go through here. It's kind of weird. Do use passionate language. Cite experts. If you want to find some information that tells, supports your position, you could do that, but it's not necessary. Provide evidence. You need textual evidence. You need to have at least one quotation for every paragraph. Provide reasons for your claim. And you need to address the opposite side's argument and refute their claims. And I will talk about that in a minute. Don't use weak quality. I don't want to hear I believe, I feel, I think. Those are just tentative, very tenuous statements. Like I said before, you're taking a position. Don't claim to be an expert if you're not, for instance, about abortion. Don't use strictly moral or religious claims to support your argument. This is not an issue of abortion. It's an issue of whether Jig actually had the abortion or not. Don't assume that the audience will agree with you. Okay, and don't attempt to make others look bad. Okay, like, basically you're not going to say, the other position is stupid, because it's not. Like I said before, there's no right or wrong answer in this. Okay. What do I need to do to oppose the opposite side's argument? This is an interesting little clip here, or a little saying, old Kung Fu saying, which states, the hand that strikes also blocks. In other words, the best defense is a good offense. By addressing the opposition, you achieve the following goals. You illustrate a well-rounded understanding of the topic, demonstrate a lack of bias. You enhance the level of the trust the reader has for both you and your opinion. And you strengthen your argument by diminishing your opposition's argument. How do you accomplish this? To address the other side of the argument, you'll need to put yourself in the other somebody in the other shoes. Put yourself in their shoes, your opposition's shoes. In other words, you need to try to understand where they're coming from. Jot down several reasons why you support that particular side of the argument. Look at the reasons you provided and try to argue with yourself. Think carefully about your audience. It's me, basically, but it could be also the classroom. And carefully organize your paper so that it moves smoothly from defending your points to the sections where you argue against the opposition. There are, in the textbook, and I will assign this in your unit, there is a section on argumentative essay, which is much more extensive, and I suggest that you take some time and read that.
That's all, folks.